Hello luxury watch enthusiasts! In today's video, I'm going to cover what I feel are the 15 best minimalist watches for 2022. Watches come in a variety of styles and finishes to suit a variety of tastes, purposes, and preferences. You don't always desire a large, flashy watch that draws everyone's attention. Sometimes all you want is something clean, simple, and timeless that can be worn on a variety of situations. And it's here that minimalist timepieces come into play. For a long time, minimalist watches have been on the rise. Their objective is to tell you the time without all the bells and whistles we've come to expect from luxury watches. They have simple designs and straightforward time-telling technologies. One of the advantages of minimalist watches is that, although being some of the most attractive timepieces available, they are also some of the most affordable. Let's get started. Taking off with number 15, the Mondaine Classic. It is a remarkable masterpiece that combines simplicity and grace. The watch combines a basic design with aesthetic appeal. The silky black leather strap is extremely pleasant to wear and complements the dress watch's timeless appearance. Every ensemble needs a companion, simply elegant, simply better. There are no compromises with this watch. It's elegant yet understated. Bold, yet understated. The Simply Elegant series takes its timeless design cues from Mondaine's classic, official Swiss Railways watch and exhibits exceptional craftsmanship and long-term design. It mixes Swiss tradition with cutting-edge technology. The Mondaine Simply Elegant watches are true to style icons and extremely easy to wear, thanks to their ultra-flat case and simplistic design. Simply beautiful, simply excellent. Let's look at its design features. We're looking at the Mondaine Classic reference A40030351111SBB, which has a case size of 36mm, a thickness of 6.2mm, and a lug width of 20mm. A sapphire crystal protects the dial. It has an ETA 902101 movement. We are only looking at a water resistance of 30 meters. You can expect to pay almost $260 for this graceful watch. Onto the charismatic number 14, the Junghans Max Bill Quartz. You get all of the Max Bill charms with the added ease of quartz with this Junghans model. In 1961, Max Bill created his first wristwatches for Junghans. Bill established and perfected his aesthetic ideas while studying at the Bauhaus in Dessau and then founding his design school. His aesthetic values were masterfully translated onto the dials of his timepieces. Bill's watches were perfectly suited to the 1960s when there was a growing emphasis on clean, pared-down designs that focused on usefulness and clarity of display. The movement contains a hack feature that permits easy synchronization to a time signal by stopping the second hand while the time is being set. The crown may be used to swiftly modify the date display when needed. Taking a look at its design features, we're looking at the Junghans Max Bill Quartz. Reference 41446104 steel quartz wristwatch, which has a case size of 38mm, a thickness of 9mm, and a lug width of 20mm. It features a J64533 quartz movement and has a water resistance of up to 30 meters. And if you've fallen for the Junghans Max Bill's charm, prepare your wallets for a price of about $490. Moving on to another classic at number 13, the Daniel Wellington Classic St. Mawes 36mm. The Daniel Wellington Classic St. Mawes 36mm is a slim watch with a streamlined frame and a plain round dial. The brown strap is the ideal hue for a variety of tone combinations, and it wonderfully matches the rose gold hands and dial edge. Fortunately for you, this watch is available in both gold and silver finishes. The dial is similarly basic and timeless, with minimalist numerals and eggshell white coloring that stays true to the Daniel Wellington brand's signature look. Zooming in on its design features, we're looking at a case size of 36mm, a thickness of 6mm, and a lug width of 18mm. It has a Japanese quartz movement. Its eggshell white dial color is protected by a hardened mineral crystal. It also has a water resistance of up to 30 meters. This understated watch is nicely priced at around $239. Hopping across to number 12. The Braun BN0032WHSLMHG. Braun watches were created by German industrial designers Dieter Rams and Dietrich Lubs, and are ideal for those who prefer sleek style and simplicity. Braun watches are made with a strong emphasis on good quality, dependability, and stylistic adaptability. The Braun watch series consists of 3 different models, all of which are available in neutral and easy-to-wear colors, such as black, silver, and grey. On this Braun reference watch, a comfortable steel mesh strap leads into a high-polished stainless steel case. The white face has black accents and a 3-hand movement with a date window. Let's look at its design features. We're looking at the Braun reference BN0032WHSLMHG, which has a case size of 40mm, a thickness of 8mm, and a lug width of 22mm. It features an accurate quartz movement with a water resistance of up to 50 meters. Its sleek dial is protected by a sapphire crystal. This watch definitely has both brawns and brains and comes in at a low price of about $165. Moving swiftly along to number 11, the Timex Easy Reader Grande. The Timex Easy Reader Grande is the definition of understated elegance. A timeless watch for men of all ages that boasts a 35mm brass case with a protected mineral crystal dial window and quartz movement with an analog display. This model is also water resistant to 30 meters, features a real leather strap, and comes with a 2-year warranty from Timex Originals. Taking a look at its design features, we're looking at the Timex Easy Reader Grande reference T2H2819J, which has a case size of 35mm, a thickness of 8mm, and a lug width of 18mm. It has a quartz analog movement. Its dial is protected by a mineral glass crystal and has a water resistance of up to 30 meters. Brace yourselves, because this watch is priced at an unbelievably low price of around $50. Tale as old as time, as we move on to number 10, the Timex Marlin 34mm mechanical. Though Timex has always been a function-first watchmaker, the Marlin is one of their best minimalist efforts. The Marlin 34mm mechanical is a reissue of the Marlin timepiece from the 1960s. It has a mechanical hand-winding mechanism. The Marlin is the smallest watch on our list, with a diameter of 34mm, a thickness of 10.5mm, and a lug-to-lug measurement of 41mm. The silver sunburst dial is stunning, with Art Deco meets Bauhaus numerals on the even hours. It comes with a black crocodile grain 18mm leather strap that is nearly perfect for the design. Zooming in on its design features, we're looking at the Timex Marlin reference TW2R47900ZV, which has a case size of 34mm and a thickness of 10.5mm. It has a lug-to-lug of 41mm and a lug width of 18mm. It has a mechanical hand-wind movement and a water resistance of up to 30 meters. The dial is protected by an acrylic crystal. Our smaller wristwatch fans might be sold on this one, and you can expect to pay about $199 for this watch. Let's hop over to number 9, the Timex Marlin 40mm automatic. Timex did an excellent job with their Marlin remake. The 40mm automatic is another example of Timex's minimalist approach, but this time with some extra special dimensions. For the 40mm Marlin, Timex chose a Meister automatic movement. It has a day-date function at 3 o'clock and a 40-hour power reserve. In this piece, the deep gray-silver sunburst dial contrasts beautifully with the gold-colored indices and hands. But the best feature of this watch is its size: 40mm wide, 13mm thick, and a narrow 48mm lug-to-lug distance, making it ideal for men with tiny wrists who dislike lugs that protrude. This Marlin comes with a lovely tan leather band, but different dial or strap combinations and colors like black or green are available. Highlighting its design features, we're looking at the Timex Marlin reference TW2T22700, which has a case size of 40mm, a thickness of 13mm, and a lug-to-lug of 48mm. Its automatic movement ensures a 40-hour power reserve. Its dial is protected by an acrylate crystal and has a water resistance of up to 30 meters. This Marlin remake is priced at roughly $249. Powering up with number 8, the Hamilton Jazzmaster automatic. The Hamilton Jazzmaster line has some pretty wacky variations, but this silver dial model from Switzerland does a great job of playing the minimalist part. It has a Hamilton caliber H40 movement with an incredible 80-hour power reserve and a day-date complication that somehow doesn't detract from the basic look. This Jazzmaster sports a 40mm stainless steel case with a thickness of 12mm, which is about as conventional as an automatic watch gets. It boasts silver-tone loomed hands and markings for easier viewing in low-light situations. The Jazzmaster is available on several straps and bracelets, including a 20mm black leather strap in this model. Okay, onto its design features. We're looking at the Hamilton Jazzmaster reference H42535-150, which has a case size of 40mm, a thickness of 12mm, and a lug width of 20mm. Its automatic movement grants a power reserve of up to 80 hours. It has a water resistance of up to 50 meters. You can expect to pay around $893 for this silver-tone beaut of a watch. Showing some chivalry with number 7, the Tissot Gentleman Automatic 80 Silicium. Many Tissot watches could be classified as minimalist, but none are as elegant as the Gentleman Automatic 80 Silicium. The Powermatic automatic movement in the Swiss-made beauty has an 80-hour power reserve and a date complication. The Gentleman comes with a 20mm stainless steel band that complements the 40mm wide, 11.5mm thick stainless steel case perfectly. It also has loomed pips atop each hour and index dial hour and minute markers. On both the front and back of the display case, the crystal is scratch-resistant sapphire. The Tissot has a pretty prominent stainless steel bezel, which takes away from the minimalist appearance. However, its simple form and clean appearance keep it eligible. Zooming in on its design features, the Tissot Gentleman Automatic 80 Silicium has a case size of 40mm, a thickness of 11.5mm, and a lug width of 20mm. As the name suggests, It has a Powermatic 80 movement that allows a power reserve of 80 hours. Its dial is protected by a sapphire crystal and has a water resistance of up to 100 meters. There are two options to choose from, around $837 for a leather strap watch or $900 for a bracelet watch. Onto the popular kid on the block, number 6, the Seiko SARB033. The Seiko SARB033 is a fantastic minimalist dress watch that has gained popularity and price in the last year or so. This Seiko SR15 automatic watch features a hackable and hand-windable movement with a 50-hour power reserve. Depending on the position and illumination, the hands on Seiko appears to be different. The hands appear to be a typical dolphin design from some perspectives. They do, however, occasionally appear much narrower, nearly needle-like, because both the hour and minute hands have a long white line running down them. This is the case. There is also a lume triangle in the center of the hands. The little lume pips on the hour indices, along with this, make this watch incredibly legible. The inclusion of both the lume and the basic white lines substantially improves the legibility of the Seiko SARB033. Whereas some dress watches are difficult to see from certain angles and in particular lighting circumstances, the Seiko SARB033's legibility is greatly improved by the presence of both. Let's take a look at the design features. We're looking at the Seiko SARB033, which has a case size of 38mm, a thickness of 11.2mm, and a lug width of 20mm. Its 6R15 movement ensures a 50-hour power reserve, and it has a water resistance of up to 100 meters. This watch is priced at about $475. Keeping up with simplicity at number 5, the Hamilton American Classic. Don't be fooled by the name. The Hamilton American Classic is true Swiss minimalism. This timepiece has a Hamilton automatic movement with a date window at 6 o'clock. It features an 80-hour power reserve and can be wound by hand or automatically. The dials on this American Classic are one of the simplest on the list, but they are still easy to read. Stick markers are used at the hour markings on the faint sunburst silver dial, with significantly thicker markers at the 3, 6, 9, and 12 o'clock marks. The American Classic has an antique, patined look thanks to the rubbed bronze type finish on the hands. The stainless steel, the yellow gold plated case is 42mm across and is only 11.4mm thick. These dimensions make it an excellent alternative for men who desire a watch that stands out without catching on their shirt cuffs. And onto its design features. We're looking at the Hamilton American Classic reference H42415801, which has a case size of 42mm, a thickness of 11.4mm, and a lug width of 22mm. Its ETA C07111 automatic movement allows a power reserve of up to 80 hours. The dial is protected by a scratch-resistant sapphire crystal. It has a water resistance of up to 50 meters, and you can expect to pay approximately $796 for this watch. Getting glammed up with number 4, the Seiko SRPB77 Cocktail Time. The entire casing is polished to give it a glitzy and exclusive appearance. If it had brushed finishes, it would appear too tool-like and athletic, which is certainly not what Seiko is going for with the SRPB77. We have a huge crown at 3 o'clock. This is not a screw down, but rather a push-pull. Because water resistance isn't as important on a dress watch, a screw-down crown isn't expected. It does, however, feature 50-meter water resistance. This isn't exactly 50 meters below the surface. Rather, it signifies that the watch can withstand splashes, but shouldn't be submerged underwater. Water resistance shouldn't be a concern for dress watches though, given their intended uses. Taking a look at some of its design features. The Seiko SARB033 cocktail time has a case size of 40.5 mm, a thickness of 12 mm, and a lug width of 20 mm. Its 4R35 automatic movement provides a power reserve of up to 41 hours. The dial is protected by a hardlex crystal and has a water resistance of up to 50 meters. And if you've decided you're wearing this one to your next soiree, anticipate paying about $450 for this watch. Almost reaching the top at number 3, the Hamilton Jazzmaster Small Seconds. On the road to Swiss-made minimalist design, the Hamilton Jazzmaster Small Seconds takes a somewhat different route. The little seconds dial, which is standard on Bauhaus watches, rests above the 6 o'clock marker, adding texture and depth to the grey sunburst face. The second hand is the only item on this Jazzmaster that is small. Although the stainless steel watch is 43 mm wide, it is only 12 mm thick. It has a 50-hour battery reserve powered by a Hamilton Swiss-made movement, with a date complication at 3 o'clock. The Jazzmaster Small Seconds could be a suitable choice if you can manage a large-bodied watch. Let's zoom in on its design features. We're looking at the Hamilton Jazzmaster Small Seconds reference H38655515, which has a case size of 43 mm, a thickness of 12 mm, and a lug width of 22 mm. Its automatic movement provides a 50-hour power reserve. The dial is protected by a sapphire crystal and has a water resistance of 50 meters. This Swiss beauty is priced at roughly $984. Another German classic at number 2, the Junghans Meister Classic Automatic. The Junghans Meister Classic Automatic is worth looking into if you're searching for a modestly sized, minimalist dress watch for under $1,000. A Junghans automatic movement with a date complication powers this German-made minimalism. To create a simple, monochromatic aesthetic, this watch has a matte silver dial, a stainless steel casing, stick-type indices, and silver tone hands. The 20mm lugs dominate the 38.4mm case, resulting in a watch that looks fantastic on the wrist, but doesn't bring too much attention to itself, a minimalist staple. It will easily slide under a formal shirt thanks to its 9mm case thickness. Focusing on its design features, the Junghans Meister Classic Automatic watch has a case size of 38.4mm, a thickness of 9mm, and a lug width of 20mm. It has a J8001 automatic movement and a water resistance of up to 30 meters. You can decide if this automatic German watch, priced around $1,450, is worth it. And taking our number 1 spot is the Shinola S0100026. This Shinola style in green and tan is ideal for layering and complementing basic hues and designs. The battery uses EOL technology and has a sapphire crystal with a double curve. This watch has 3 hands and a 41mm case size, making it extremely functional. We recommend this option for those gentlemen who appreciate a minimalistic style with a twist. Let's take a look at its design features. The Shinola S0100026 has a case size of 41mm, a thickness of 10.1mm, and a lug width of 20mm. It has an Argonite 1069 movement and is water resistant up to 50 meters. Its green dial is shielded by a scratch-resistant sapphire crystal. Does this watch fit your minimalist requirements? If so, you can plan to pay around $595 for the Shinola S0100026. And this wraps up my review of what I think are the top 15 best minimalist watches. Let me know in the comments below which one is your favorite. I will provide links below for all the watches mentioned. Thank you for watching this video. Nothing helps my channel more than you watching until the very end. These videos do take a long time to make, but are a labor of love. If you enjoy this type of content, let me know in the comments below. And remember, time is your greatest asset.